Anybody drive to work from your home? Like under a half hour, an hour? Do you ever notice that you kind of get in a habit, in a groove where you tend to go the same way? It's the most efficient way. You've been down it so many times, you know the traffic patterns. It gets you there the quickest. And pretty soon, you start getting up for work and you end up at work. All of a sudden you're like, whoa, wow, I'm here already. You ever have that experience? Like, what happened? Suddenly I'm at work. With the music on, yeah. And you're in your head during the trip. Where are you in your head? You're not in the present. You're either daydreaming about what you're going to do at work, or maybe your vacation coming up, or you're thinking about the past and either appreciating it, reminiscing, or maybe regretting something or worrying about something. Okay? So that's what's going on. Your head is not in the present when you have that kind of autopilot experience. So you driving to work was basically on autopilot. You still got there. You might even say you got there reasonably safely. Your head was not in the present. So the point of this is, if observing ego is you being the pilot of your life, you being at the steering wheel of your life, then autopilot is something else. And if you're on autopilot, you're not in the present. Then while you're being the pilot, you are in the present. So it means you can only access observing ego skill by being present-minded, right here, right now, paying attention. The ways of doing that would involve, example one would be making a decision. Can you make a decision in the past? No, it's gone. Can you make a decision in the future that's not here yet? No, it's not here yet. So every time you make a purposeful decision, you're getting yourself more present-minded. And therefore, you have more access to being at the steering wheel of your life with observing ego. Taking an action. Can you take an action in the past? No. Can you take an action in the future? No. You can only take actions in the present. So whenever you do a purposeful action, you're also being present-minded and you're accessing more observing ego. A third way is your senses. Can you smell something from the past? Yeah. Have you smelled my car lately? I think there's a lot of stuff from the past in my car right now. But you're smelling it right now when you smell it. Can you see something literally from the future? No. Not as vividly as if you were seeing it right now. So your five senses are a way of getting more observing ego skill, getting more present-minded. I think it's one of the reasons that it can be so invigorating and refreshing for people to be in the outdoors, to go on a hike, a walk, to be in nature, because you're using all your senses. But for we city dwellers, another thing we could do, besides going to like a Central Park kind of place, would be having a shared meal. Do you ever hear the business advice that, you know, you should never dine alone, never eat alone? That you should always break bread with someone if you really want to get to know them and bond with them. You should share a meal. Part of the reason is, other than sex, a shared meal is one of the only ways human beings tend to use all of their senses. You taste the food, you smell the food, you might hear music and conversation. There's a texture to the food, okay? It's all of your senses working at the same time. And that's why sharing a meal with somebody is such a rich experience, because your observing ego is turned on. You're paying attention and being there, being real.